This is KMTV 3 News Now, this morning.
Iowa calls out the National Guard to help keep meat processing plants open, while Nebraska gets ready to relax medical limits that could let you visit your dentist or eye doctor in the very near future. Omaha City Council will get back to work for the first time in a month, but the meeting will look nothing like this. We'll look at the changes you can expect because of the coronavirus. Along with toilet paper, face masks are one of the hardest things to find these days, but one area convenience store wants to make sure you're protected for free. Good morning, I'm Courtney Johns. Today is Tuesday, April 21st. Thanks for starting your day with us. We'll have a look at those stories in just a moment, but first we're going to begin with a check of our forecast with Weather Alert Team meteorologist Mark Stitz. And Mark, I'm excited to see that the wind is going to die down because it was a little windy out there yesterday.
Yeah, winds are super light out there this morning. They're going to stay pretty light through the rest of the afternoon, which is great. And Courtney, the wind does return just in time to keep us warm tomorrow morning, so we're looking good.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, and the temperatures in the afternoons continue to go higher and higher. Today we're looking at low 70s again, but mid to upper 70s tomorrow. So
oh wow,
we're going to soak it in. Now, not everyone, it's the thing. We'll get to it, but most of us will see mid to upper 70s tomorrow afternoon. Anyway, right now here in Omaha, we're at 40 degrees, starting to see that sunshine come out over Creighton University there in the background. Winds again really light, around 5 miles per hour or less, so no big deal there. And other temperatures also hanging out in the 40s for the most part in the metro, including Millard at 41 and Council Bluffs at 43. But Bellevue, you guys have been randomly running extra cool lately, and you guys are now down to 35 in your area. All right, anyway, nice and dry out there this morning. So no matter if you're in the 30s or the 40s right now, it's going to quickly warm you up here in the first couple hours of the day. And temperatures will once again be above average this afternoon, which makes Emoji Man very excited, especially since it will be coming without all of the wind that we saw yesterday. Wednesday, Emoji Man has his umbrella out just in case. You can see, though, coverage 30%. That means 70% of us will stay dry. It looks like the best chance of catching some of that spotty rain will be along and south of I-80. But as we go to Thursday, most of the day looking dry. Not until Thursday night that some will scattered showers and thunderstorms start to push in. So Emoji Man, pretty excited about that as well, as we once again stay in those 70s. But of course, we'll break it down in a little bit more detail for you coming up in just a little bit. Courtney?
All right, thank you, Mark. To our coronavirus coverage now, state health officials are reporting 5 new deaths in Nebraska. They include 2 in Douglas County, a man in his 40s and a man in his 70s. Both had underlying health conditions. The virus has now killed 33 people in Nebraska. The state has reported 174 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the total number up to 1,648. And more than 16,000 people have been tested in the first weeks of the pandemic in Nebraska. After limiting tests to vulnerable populations, healthcare workers, and first responders, Governor Ricketts now says doctors can decide if their patient should get tested.
And the doctor wants to make the call that that person should get tested, or if they've been exposed to somebody who has had been diagnosed with coronavirus and they're symptomatic, to be able to get that person in line to be able to get a test.
The governor also announced that starting May 4th, elective surgeries can resume at hospitals that have at least 30% of their total beds, ICU beds, and ventilators available. The move also means other health services like dentists and eye doctors and veterinarians will be allowed to reopen. And Iowa health officials also confirmed more deaths on Monday. All 4 deaths were in the eastern part of the state. 79 people have now died from COVID-19 in Iowa. Health officials confirmed 257 new cases, raising the total to more than 3,100. 46 of those new cases were meat processing plant employees. And Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds mobilized up to 1,000 National Guard members. They'll deliver testing equipment to packing plants, transport those kits to labs, and possibly help plants with cleaning. Governor Reynolds says she talked with leaders at every Tyson plant, including the one in Council Bluffs, about their mitigation strategies.
These processing plants are essential, and these workers are essential workforce. And so we have to be doing everything that we can collectively. We should all be working on finding solutions to making sure that we are doing infectious control policies, that we're making sure that the workforce is protected, and most importantly, that we're keeping that food supply chain moving.
The Iowa Health Department is requiring all state businesses to notify the state if 10% or more of their workforce is absent from work, so the state can begin surveillance and contact testing. The coronavirus response is changing the way the city of Omaha is doing business. City Council will meet today for the first time in more than a month. Council members will be practicing social distancing, so the meeting will look more like a video conference. The public can participate, but only by Zoom. You can find a link to that on our website at 3newsnow.com. And items like toilet paper, masks, and gloves are still hard to come by. 3 News Now reporter Danielle Davis joins us live with info on how you can get some of these items for free.
Exactly. Now, Courtney, thanks to the generosity of a 14-year-old girl, toilet paper, mask, and gloves are all available for free at Mega Saver gas stations.
Would you like to get a free Corona mask?
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Anywhere.
14-year-old Renee Samiva shared her concern with her dad of people not being able to get their hands on critical supplies to help protect them from the virus.
People are like, wait, they're actually free? Like they're a little confused at first, but when you explain it to them, they seem to, be thankful about it.
I was actually pretty shocked because I saw the box, but I didn't know what it was for. I think it's awesome. You can't find these things anywhere, so I appreciate it.
Masks, gloves, and toilet paper are now being given out for free to customers at all Mega Saver locations.
Well, brilliant idea, and someone coming up with an idea like that to help support the community coming out of the some younger generation is definitely something that makes you happy. So as soon as she came up with the idea, we put thoughts behind it and resources behind it to order up as many masks as we can get a hold of.
The company has been able to order more than 100,000 of the items.
And we're also doing donations to any first responders. If they need donations, reach out to us. We will do that. I know today we were talking with Nebraska Medicine. We're going to be getting their donations ready today. We did some donations for police department. Shelters will be getting their donations as well too.
You can also find on their shelves hand sanitizer and N95 masks. While I was there, they received another 100,000 pieces of the free face masks.
It feels really good inside to be able to make an impact on people and to just give them something that, they might not be able to get anywhere else.
Now, Omaha has 23 of the Mega Saver gas stations, and Council Bluffs has one, and most are drive-up locations if you don't want to get out of your car. And they say they get several shipments per week, so they'll give out the items as long as they can get their hands on supplies. And we will have a list of all of those 24 locations on our website. This is Danielle Davis, 3 News Now this morning. Courtney?
All right, thank you, Danny. Area hospitals are getting a nearly $5 million shot in the arm to help save lives during this pandemic. The Helmsley Charitable Trust is giving a $4.7 million grant to pay for 367 Lucas Medical CPR devices. These will be given to hospitals in Omaha, Council Bluffs, and Fremont. They could be especially important because research shows nearly 1 in 5 hospitalized COVID-19 patients deals with cardiac distress. And we know the coronavirus is changing our community. In some ways, the changes may have long-term effects on our lives. So to help you and your family get back on your feet as we move forward, we're beginning a new series of reports. 3 News Now anchor Jennifer Griswold explains.
Good morning. They are the stories that will help all of us navigate these uncertain times. We're calling it the Rebound Heartland. We have been shaken to our core. Our lives changed in profound and unsettling ways. And it all seems like it happened in an instant.
And then, bada bing, bada boom, Corona.
The virus has left us wondering, when will businesses reopen? How will we go back to work? Do we even want to go back to the way things were?
The way we were is what got us to where we are.
Emerging from this epidemic will take time, hope, and understanding. It will mean taking a closer look at why help that's been promised may not be arriving quite as it should.
So unless there is some assistance, we're through.
As we move forward, you'll see us shining a light on those determined to keep the economy running.
We're going to try to help you find work first, but at the bare minimum, we're going to have a resume for you at the end of the interview.
In the coming weeks and months, we'll be focusing on the rebound, our commitment to stories that will help you navigate these uncertain times. From what you'll need to know when it's time to go back to work, to how those in the community continue to step up. Our hope is to relieve some of the pressure we've all felt lately by showing you the best ways to respond. As this country focuses on ways to revive, we will not forget what this outbreak has done, the kind of loss it has left us with.
He was the kindest person I knew, and not because he was my dad, but just because he was genuinely kind.
But for everything this crisis has taken from us, it has given us back a sense of gratitude.
Give me your best smiles you got, boys. Let me see them. Let me see them. Oh, they're good!
A reminder to be thankful for what matters.
I'm hoping after this, the parents actually start to prioritize that time again.
And eventually, when things come full circle, we might rebound to someplace better than we were before. As we work toward rebounding, an Omaha-based nonprofit that helps women with issues like domestic violence or assault has reworked how they help women amid COVID-19. Whether it's finding a new place to live, finding a job, or seeking a protection order, the Women's Center for Advancement is here to help. Reporter Rudolph Snyder spoke with the president on how you can receive these services for free.
The Women's Center for Advancement, or WCA, helps with issues like domestic violence, a sensitive topic that has only escalated since the outbreak began.
It's a known fact that in times of trials, and especially this kind of one where you're so isolated, that your life is really in jeopardy.
The doors to the Women's Center for Advancement may be locked, but their services are far from over, even expanding to help better fit the needs in the middle of the coronavirus.
What we are doing is we're redeploying all of our staff to be able to answer that call for help.
Their top priority is getting women and children out of dangerous situations.
That isolation is so dangerous for their safety. So whether they're reaching out to us or they're reaching out to someone else, make sure somebody knows your circumstance.
They even help with legal battles, financial strains, and unemployment.
Of course, we have classes on budgeting and job searching, and they can come into our office and we can build resumes.
And even help women in dangerous situations find daycare for the little ones so everyone is safe.
We will help people with the payment of daycare, and we have some places that are offering daycare for some of our survivors that are maybe in the midst of getting out of a situation and might need help.
And it's all done virtually, even virtual classes that help with things like mental health.
This is a way they can get out, get online, and then have peers telling them, I'm going through the same thing. I'm feeling that too.
All the services are free of charge because now more than ever, women in dangerous situations need the help. Reporting in Omaha, Rudolph Snyder, 3 News Now.
To get in contact with someone from the WCA, visit WCAOmaha.org or call the phone numbers on your screen. The general phone number is available Monday through Friday. Now that WCA hotline, that is available 24/7. Courtney, back to you.
And as we navigate the challenges of this pandemic, we want you to know that we are committed to sharing the information and resources to help you. You can find all of our coverage, plus employment resources, tips for managing the stress and anxiety of this change, and all of the other information on our website under the Rebound Heartland tab. Coming up on 3 News Now this morning, the warmer weather. Is there a risk of getting sick by keeping your windows open? We'll talk with the experts coming up. Time now is 6:13, 40 degrees outside. Here's a live look from our Omaha World Herald camera. Stay with us. You're watching 3 News Now this morning.
This weather alert forecast sponsored by Elite Exteriors, roofing, siding, windows, and storm damage.
We are a little bit cool out there, but right now some of the warmest places, Omaha points down to the south. We're at 40, Plattsmouth 44, and Nebraska City coming in at 42. But you can see plenty of low to mid 30s even out there right now. Columbus 35, Fremont 36, and Denison, one of the cooler spots right now at 30. But the winds are really light, 5 miles per hour or less, and they'll stay pretty light through the rest of the afternoon. So unlike yesterday with those strong winds, a little bit more comfortable out there this afternoon. Here are the wind gusts in the next 24 hours. You can see as we get through the rest of the morning right there, even through the afternoon, winds about 5 to 15 miles per hour, so not a big deal. But as we go into late night hours, especially after midnight, we will start to see those winds kick up a little bit closer to 30 miles per hour at times. And that wind is out of the south, and it will be pumping in warmer air for us, not only in the morning, but also into the afternoon. I think the strongest winds will be pretty early Wednesday morning. And again, that keeps us very mild. So if it's your trash day today, shouldn't have any issues. Once it gets emptied, it will sit right where they left it for you when you get home later on today. Satellite and radar, though, showing the sunshine we're expecting now coming out here across the Omaha area. Very few clouds out there, so really nice start to our day. Again, a little bit cool, but with that morning sunshine, our temperatures will very quickly be pushing higher. You can see by lunchtime on Futurecast, already looking at 50s and low 60s across the region. And as we go into the afternoon, very similar to yesterday, 70s here in Omaha, the rest of eastern Nebraska, western Iowa, northwest Missouri, though, you guys will be running a little bit cooler than the rest of us today, but still mid to upper 60s, making for a very comfortable afternoon with those lighter winds. Now, overnight tonight, like we said, the wind is going to kick up. That keeps us much more mild, only dropping down into the 50s for tomorrow morning. And it looks like some scattered rain showers will try to push in down to our south. But I think a lot of that falls apart before it gets to us, so not expecting much in the way of rainfall in the morning, especially all the way up here in Omaha. We should avoid all that rainfall to start the day. But as we go into the afternoon, we are expecting a little bit of a broken line of some light to moderate rain to kick off, probably about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right along the I-80 corridor. Then as we go later into the afternoon, into the evening, that's going to push farther down to the south as it breaks apart. So our best chance of rain tomorrow will be along and south of I-80 in the afternoon to early evening. But again, even in those areas, the rain's not going to be for everyone. Now, along and north of I-80, we'll see more sunshine, so easily going to get us into the mid to upper 70s, so the warm up continues tomorrow. But if you're south of I-80, you will see a few more clouds, and also the potential for a little bit of that rainfall. And that will keep a few of you guys a little bit cooler tomorrow afternoon, at least compared to the rest of us, but still going to be really nice out there tomorrow too. 71 though for a high today, keeping it mostly sunny and dry. Overnight tonight, the wind kicks up out of the south, so breezy tomorrow morning, but lows only near 54 degrees. And then tomorrow afternoon, we keep things above average by about 10 degrees at least for the afternoon. We'll top out near 77 for those of us that see more sunshine. But again, south of I-80, there will be a few more clouds and that hit and miss rain to dodge. Just going to keep you guys a few degrees cooler. As we go into Thursday, then most of the day looking dry. That mix of sun and clouds continues with highs in the mid 70s. But Thursday night, we're expecting some scattered showers and thunderstorms to move into the area into the overnight hours. And some of that will linger into early Friday morning. Even Friday afternoon, could see a couple spotty rain showers linger, but that rain not going to be for everyone on Friday. The problem is that system that brings the rain overnight will also pull in some cooler air, and that will drop us into the mid 60s for Friday. Then heading into the weekend, we're looking at mid to upper 60s, a mix of sun and clouds, and can't rule out an isolated shower or two both Saturday and Sunday, but right now keeping those rain chances very low, meaning most of us will keep it dry. It looks like most of us also going to be dry on Monday with highs in the upper 60s. So average for this time of year is mid 60s in Omaha, so we're going to be either at that or above it for the next week. But of course, for the updated forecast and the updated rain chances heading into the weekend, check back in with us anytime. Just download the free Storm Shield app on Apple and Android smartphones and tablets.
A lot of us have questions about coronavirus and the risk of exposure. Our partners at Newsy talked to the experts and asked what the chances are of contracting the virus when you open your windows. Reporter Lindsay Thies brings us their answers.
When it comes to getting sick with COVID-19, you might be thinking about this, and we have too. Brant Shekel asks,
I live in a busy neighborhood, and the weather's been really nice lately. Is there any risk in leaving the windows open?
We asked the experts. Their take, contracting COVID-19 through open windows is low risk.
Open your windows, allow the natural ventilation. This is particularly important if you have someone in your home who has COVID-19. natural ventilation, allowing the air to free flow through your home is a great idea. You can remember the solution to pollution is dilution, and just trying to get the amount of virus down in your home. In terms of the wind being able to blow virus in the door or the window from your neighbor, only if they're standing there right there coughing in your window or in your door would I be somewhat worried, and even then it's probably very low risk.
There is some literature that it can go through the air, but it's not that efficient of a virus that it's going to go from, the outside environment and come inside of your windows.
Have a question for Newsy? Email us a video question at what'stherisk@newsy.com.
Coming up, stand apart, stand together. A local high school student has taken that phrase and turned it into a movement. His story is coming up. And as we head to break, we know the coronavirus pandemic means high school seniors will not get traditional graduation ceremonies. So 3 News Now wants to honor the class of 2020. You can help by sending your pictures of your senior and their name and their high school to Salute to Seniors link on 3newsnow.com. Speaking of which, here's a look at today's group of seniors. Congratulations to all of them.
This weather alert forecast sponsored by Elite Exteriors, roofing, siding, windows, and storm damage.
A little bit on the cool side this morning. We're at 40 in Omaha, a lot of 30s across the region as well, even upper 20s now up towards the Carroll area. But the rest of Iowa, some 30s and even some low 40s down there farther to the south. Across Nebraska, mainly in the 30s to start the day, but you can see some mid-20s out there towards Sydney, Iowa, or Nebraska in the Panhandle this morning. But the good news is all of us waking up to a lot of sunshine this morning. That's going to rapidly push those temperatures higher, especially as we go into the lunch hour, and we're looking at 70s this afternoon. But first, let's talk about our Nebraska Humane Society Dog of the Day. This little guy looking for his forever home and his forever family. He's just 1 year old, so if you ever had a young dog before, you know this guy has a whole lot of energy in him, and we are told that he would go best to a home with an owner who is active, enjoys running with them, and just whatever you can to help burn some of that energy. And he is a husky, so we're told he would do best with someone who has some husky experience, as they are a certain type of breed. Other than that, though, we're told he does play a little bit rough, so he would do best in a home with kiddos who are about teenage years or older, just because he can get a little bit around the rough side and maybe knock him over, very friendly way, but you know how dogs get. Anyway, go check him out. If not the right fit for you and your family, plenty of other great options out there as well. As far as the dog walks today, things looking really good. Enjoy a nice long one. Upper 50s if you're taking a lunch break from your home office today. And then when you get home from the office or the grocery store late this afternoon, we'll be topping out near 71 and then down into the low 60s by 9 o'clock tonight. But again, lots of sunshine and light winds throughout the day today.
This is KMTV 3 News Now, this morning.
Good morning, I'm Courtney Johns. Today is Tuesday, April 21st. Thanks for starting your day with us. We'll have a look at this morning's top stories in just a moment, but first we're going to begin with a check of our forecast with Weather Alert Team meteorologist Mark Stitz. And Mark, it sounds like we have an even better day to look forward to today.
Yeah, temperature-wise, going to be very similar to what we saw yesterday, which was great, low 70s. But today we're going to do it without the wind, which is going to be really nice, I think.
Yeah, I love that. I also love your trash can forecast. I always get a kick out of that. It sounds like they're going to stay on the streets today.
They're just going to sit there. Again, unless you have some rowdy neighbors, they're going to knock them over. But it should be good if your neighbors behave.
There you go.
Epley Airfield, though, right now, a little bit on the cool side. Court right now, 40 degrees. But again, starting to see a little bit of that sunshine come out. That's going to rapidly push temperatures higher over the next few hours and heading into the lunch hour. Winds also really light this morning, less than 5 miles per hour. And we'll see those winds around 5 to 15 miles per hour this afternoon, which is a lot better than the 30 to 35 we were seeing yesterday. Actual temperatures in other parts of the metro have fallen now into the 30s. Carter Lake at 38. Elkhorn, you guys are down to 37. And then even La Vista coming at 38 with Plattsmouth and Springfield right now at 39. Now, as far as cloud cover, not much of it out there this morning. Just a couple of cotton balls floating around, blocking out just a little bit of that sun in a couple of our cities, but most of us enjoying the full sunshine, and we'll stay mostly sunny through the rest of the day. So the morning commute, going to need those sunglasses, especially if you are heading east towards that sunshine. But again, given a green light, nice and dry out there. Same thing this afternoon with lighter winds. That gets a green light as well. Temperatures in the low 70s, just like it was yesterday, but again, lighter winds. Now, eventually, some stronger winds do move in. We have more clouds, even some rain to talk about, but even warmer weather as well. So we'll time all that up for you coming up a little bit later on. Courtney?
All right, thank you, Mark. Douglas County investigators are looking for answers after 3 people were found dead at home in the Ponca Hills area. 3 News Now reporter Sydney Gray spoke with deputies about the case.
It was an emotional day for those who knew the 3 victims whose bodies were found in rural Douglas County Monday afternoon. Douglas County Sheriff's Captain Wayne Hudson says deputies responded to an overdose call at 12:23 Monday afternoon. Captain Hudson says the Ponca Hills Fire Department also responded.
On arrival and search of the area, we did find 2 deceased parties outside the residence and 1 inside.
Captain Hudson tells us 2 of the victims are men and 1 is a woman. He says one of the victims was found in the yard. The second was found near a side door of the home. The final victim was in an unknown location inside the home.
We don't even know if it's an overdose right now, so we're still doing a preliminary investigation. The call came out as an overdose, but until we have an autopsy done, which will probably be done tomorrow, we'll wait the findings of the autopsy.
Family members were visibly upset, mourning the loss of a loved one. Captain Hudson says they aren't yet releasing the names of the victims. In Douglas County, Sydney Gray, 3 News Now.
And we have an update to a story we first brought you yesterday. Police have identified the victim of a deadly shooting in North Omaha. 40-year-old Anthony Bonner was found dead inside a car in the area of 24th and Pinckney Sunday night. ShotSpotter reported several shots fired in the area. Still no word on what prompted the shooting. If you have any information, please call police. And now to the latest on the coronavirus here in Nebraska. There are a total of 1,648 cases and 33 deaths. 2 of the new deaths were here in Douglas County. The Grand Island area has the most cases with a total of 531. Douglas County follows with nearly 300 cases. And Governor Pete Ricketts says the first restrictions he'll be lifting is on elective surgeries. He says those will resume on May 4th. Hospitals can perform them if they have 30% of their hospital beds, ICU beds, and ventilators available, as well as 2 weeks worth of personal protective equipment. This also means Nebraskans needing routine dental and eye care will be allowed to schedule appointments for early May. Ricketts says the restrictions can be loosened because there's plenty of hospital space.
Look around the state and you see hospital utilization. We're not seeing that it's being overwhelmed, and so we believe we have the ability to start loosening some of these restrictions.
He says hospitals will need to meet this criteria you see here. Omaha and Lincoln hospitals currently would be allowed to have them, while hospitals in Grand Island would not. And 4 more people have died from the coronavirus in Iowa, and there are 257 new cases. The state now has a total of 79 deaths and 3,159 total cases. There have been outbreaks at 10 long-term care facilities. Nearly half of the COVID-19 deaths in Nebraska are residents of those facilities. An inmate also tested positive in Coralville, Iowa. And Governor Kim Reynolds says she is mobilizing as many as 1,000 Iowa National Guard troops to fight the coronavirus. They would help deliver testing equipment to packing plants, transport those kits to labs, and possibly help packing plants with disinfecting and cleaning. When asked if packing plants should shut down, the governor said that cannot happen.
It's important because this isn't like a regular facility where you shut it down for 2 weeks. We have farmers that are raising hogs. We are the largest hog producer in the country. We provide a third of the nation's pork supply. It's about 25 million a year. And so if we aren't able to move them through the process, at some point, we're going to have to be talking about euthanizing hogs, and we're not that far from it, and it will be devastating not only for the food supply, but for the cost of food going forward.
The Iowa Department of Public Health is also mandating that all Iowa businesses with at least 10% of their workforce absent notify the state so they can start surveillance and testing and contact testing to try and break the virus outbreak under control. And an update now on Nebraska State Senator's parents' battle with the coronavirus. Nearly 2 weeks ago, you may remember Senator Tony Vargas talked about his parents' health fight. Overnight, he hit Twitter saying his mother is recovering at home, but his father is still on a ventilator in the ICU. He is still in critical but stable condition.
I want to thank you for all the positive messages, prayers, and thoughts you've been sending to my family. It has meant the world to them. Not only my family in New York, but my family here.
Vargas says he and his family are keeping strong and hopeful because that's what his father would want. He's asking that you keep his father in your thoughts and prayers and to contact a health provider if you have any symptoms. And while the coronavirus is hitting everybody at some level, it is greatly affecting cancer patients and how they get treatment. The American Cancer Society found 51% of cancer patients reported some impact on their care due to the virus. 27% stated they're experiencing delays in their care. We talked to a person in Nebraska City going through cancer treatment. She wants to remind people to stay home and practice social distancing to protect her.
My fear is that I wouldn't be able to fight it back and I would be one of those people on the respirator. So if you're not worried about yourself, worry about other people going through cancer treatment, worry about your grandparents, worry about others who are immune compromised, and do it for them.
According to the survey, nearly 40% of cancer patients say the coronavirus has impacted their ability to pay for care. And Creighton University is giving medical staff at CHI Health an extra layer of protection as they take on the coronavirus. Yesterday, the first batch of face shields were donated. Creighton University has been using a printer to make them over the past week. It takes several hours just to create the headband piece of the shield. Creighton says they will continue to print the shields until they are no longer needed. And while at the grocery store a couple weeks ago, a West Side High School sophomore, Luke Steiner, noticed some people going about business as usual. So he came up with the idea to create these buttons. The buttons say, "Stand apart to stand together." It's a way for people to tell others they're participating in social distancing. He says they're easier to rewear than t-shirts and more affordable. He sells them on his website, thedistanceproject.net, for $2 each, and he says this will cover the cost of the button plus shipping.
I was selling these buttons, not intending to make any money, but if there is any, it's going to the First Responders Foundation.
Steiner says he can actually customize the buttons for different groups of people who want to order 50 or more. And Mark, you made a really good point, with school, everyone doing distance learning and everything, that this kid's learning a lot from this as well.
Oh yeah, setting the prices on things, ordering them and all that stuff and sending them out. A lot of work to do too.
Yeah, very impressive kiddo there. Still to come on 3 News Now this morning, bringing a slice of New York to Nebraska. In our We're Open Omaha, we feature a pizzeria that's been serving New York style for 40 years.
And everyone nice and dry. Live look from our Omaha World Herald camera showing that sunshine coming up over Iowa and now pushing its sun rays into eastern Nebraska. Nice shot there. But don't worry, lots of it to see this afternoon as we continue to warm things up the next couple of days. It also comes with some chances for rain. We'll detail those out for you coming up.
Welcome back. Even though we can't come together in person, we can still come together as a community. KMTV has started a campaign called We're Open Omaha. It's a partnership between us and local businesses with one goal, getting them through this tough time. Every day, we're shining a light on a business or a restaurant that continues to serve our community and our neighborhoods. And this morning, 3 News Now anchor Maya Saenz checks out Don Carmelo's Pizzeria.
The first New York-style pizzeria in Omaha, Don Carmelo's, is open and is a great option for Takeout Tuesday. If you're craving homemade New York-style pizza, Don Carmelo's Pizzeria has 2 locations, one in Elkhorn and one in Rockbrook Village.
Carmelo Magistro founded our restaurant in 1958, so we've been around for about 60 years, 40 of those years in Nebraska. Pizza, I think, is what we're primarily known for, but I personally love our calzones. We have strombolis, salads, chicken salads. We have a beautiful antipasto salad. It's like a rainbow of, vegetables and meats, and it's gorgeous. We also serve pastas, which again, carbs, I love it. I could do it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have Philly cheesesteaks, which are really good.
The pizzerias are run and managed by Adriana Magistro and her family.
Don Carmelo's Pizzeria is named after my grandfather, Carmelo Magistro. A lot of times people think his name is Don, and that's not the case. Don is like a form of respect for an Italian man, kind of like, Don Corleone. That said, I don't think my grandfather was ever in the mob that I know of.
For their pizzerias, COVID-19 didn't completely affect how they run their business since they already had carryout and delivery established.
So for our customers, it was just business as usual. They didn't have to think, I wonder if they're open.
But still, business is not the same.
We have masks available for our employees. We have gloves available for our employees. We also offer like curbside pickup so that our customers can pay over the phone, pick it up in their car and leave. So we're doing everything we can. I think like everyone else is. It's been scary, tumultuous, but still there's been something good in every day. And to know that we can turn on the open sign, unlock the doors, turn on the ovens, and have a crew come in and work, that is the most wonderful blessing right now.
Although the pizzeria is doing its best to keep its distance from its customers, they're doing what they can to make people feel united.
The other thing, too, that I wanted to mention, in talking with my dad yesterday, I said, Maya's going to come and chat about the restaurant, what is on your heart? What do you want me to share? And he said, well, really, I'm just grateful that we can keep loving our community and loving our customers. He said, well, what do you mean by that? He said, well, food is love. It's cooking is his love language. And it's something I think he's instilled in all of us too, that to cook for someone is to love them. And so the fact that we can continue to cook for our community, to show love to our community, and then to see that love reciprocated, it's beautiful. And life is odd right now, and it's unsettling, but we're all experiencing it together, and we'll continue to love each other and get through it.
That's a good pizza.
In Omaha, Maya Signs, 3 News Now. Don Carmelo's Pizzeria is open at its 2 locations. One is in Elkhorn, and that's open 7 days a week. The one in Rockbrook is open every day except Monday. The hours are listed on your screen, and you can find more information on it and other open businesses on our webpage under a special section called We're Open Omaha.
This weather alert forecast sponsored by Elite Exteriors, roofing, siding, windows, and storm damage.
70s are also love, and we have plenty of that love coming for you this afternoon. 40 though right now in Omaha, so it is on the cool side. Low to mid 30s across western Iowa, but Carroll down in the upper 20s and mainly 30s across eastern Nebraska, but Lincoln holding in there with us right now at 40. Now the winds are really light, less than 5 miles per hour in most of our areas, and we will continue to see the winds stay relatively light through the afternoon. Here's the wind gusts over the next 24 hours. You can see through the morning and even to the afternoon and evening hours here, those winds only about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Yesterday, we were seeing wind gusts around 30 to 35 miles per hour, so basically going to chop those in half for this afternoon. But late tonight, heading around midnight, we do start to see some wind gusts closer to 30 miles per hour, so it does get breezy late tonight, but those winds will be out of the south heading into tomorrow morning, and that keeps things much more mild to start the day. So this morning, some of us are below freezing. That will not be the case out there tomorrow morning. But as far as the wind out there this afternoon, good news is if it's your trash day on this Tuesday, your trash can just going to sit right where they left it once it gets emptied, which is always easier than fighting and looking for it across the neighbor's yard or down the street. Satellite and radar, though, showing that dry weather this morning. Pretty much this looks like a blank, empty map, but I promise you there is data being fed into that map with the satellite and the radar, and just nothing being found on them right now. So lots of sunshine to start the day. And of course, that sunshine as we go into lunch hour will stay with us, pushing us into the 50s and 60s at that point. Here in Omaha, we're probably close to 60. And then as we get into the afternoon, just like yesterday, eastern Nebraska will be pushing into the low and even some mid 70s farther down to the south. Western Iowa, northwest Missouri, you guys will be running a little bit cooler by just a few degrees. More than likely, you'll fall shy of 70, but still really nice day for everyone out there this afternoon with those temperatures above average. Overnight tonight, again, it does get a little bit breezy, but that wind keeps us very mild. So again, we have a 28 right now in Carroll, but tomorrow morning, low to mid 50s for you guys, and those 50s will be common for everyone to start off our Wednesday. Now, as we go into Wednesday afternoon, that's when our first little chance of rain starts to push into the area. If you're along and north of I-80, more than likely going to keep it dry with a nice amount of sunshine, and that'll get you guys even warmer, mid to even upper 70s Wednesday afternoon. But again, also Wednesday afternoon, early in the afternoon, a little broken line of showers is going to pop up, probably pretty close to I-80, somewhere in that vicinity. And then as we go deeper into the afternoon and the evening, that's going to push down to the south as it breaks apart. So the best chance of rain tomorrow will be along and south of I-80. Later in the day, the farther south it's going to go. But don't worry, even if you're south of I-80, far from a guarantee that you'll see rainfall tomorrow, as that line of rain will be broken. So kind of a polka dot line moving through, where some of you guys will get hit and some of you won't. But it will, with more clouds, keep you just a little bit cooler than the rest of us, but probably still enough time to make it into the 70s for you guys tomorrow as well. But today, eastern Nebraska, 70s will be very common. 71 here in Omaha with lots of sunshine and light winds. Overnight tonight, we fall to 54, so very mild, thanks to those stronger winds overnight. Tomorrow, though, I think the wind a little bit more reasonable once again, maybe just a touch breezy at times, but highs near 77 for those of us that see more sunshine along and north of I-80, but a little bit farther down to the south where there could be a little spotty shower and more clouds. You guys will probably be a few degrees cooler. Then Thursday, most of the day looking dry, partly cloudy, highs near 76, but Thursday night, scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms move in and will continue at times through the overnight hours, and that system also going to bring in some cooler air. So as we continue to dodge some spotty rain Friday, it will be cooler, highs in the mid 60s, and it looks like we stay in the mid 60s for your next weekend. Just some very small chances of rain both Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday, getting things back into the upper 60s, so closer to average or just a touch above it for this time of year. But of course, for the latest forecast on the go, you can download our free Storm Shield app for Apple and Android smartphones and tablets. And of course, no severe weather in the forecast right now, but as we continue through the spring season, we'll be seeing it in the Storm Shield app. We'll alert you to any warnings issued if you have notifications turned on.
Coming up, we talk with California Governor Gavin Newsom about protesters pressuring him to reopen the state's economy, plus concerns about the food supply chain as processing plants cope with coronavirus outbreaks. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
And before we go, here's a look at some of the stories we'll be following for you today. We have the 411 on 3newsnow.com and our social media sites. Thanks to the generosity of a 14-year-old girl, thousands of masks, gloves, and toilet paper are available to the community just by stopping by the Mega Saver gas station. They've been able to order more than 100,000 masks, allowing them to also make donations to first responders. There are 23 Mega Savers. Mega Saver says they will continue to give away as long as they can get supplies. You can follow Danielle Davis on Twitter for the latest on this story. And the coronavirus response is putting the brakes on this year's RAGBRAI. The Des Moines Register's annual Great Bicycle Ride Across Iowa will not take place in July. No word yet on when or if it will roll later this year. A date has been set for July 25th for next year's race. And the Helmsley Charitable Trust is giving a $4.7 million grant to pay for 367 Lucas mechanical CPR devices. Those will be given to hospitals in Omaha, Council Bluffs, and Fremont. They could be especially important because research shows nearly 1 in 5 hospitalized COVID-19 patients deals with cardiac distress. And the coronavirus response is changing the way the city of Omaha is doing business. City Council will meet today for the first time in more than a month. Council members will be practicing social distancing, so the meeting will look more like a video conference. The public can participate, but only by Zoom. You can find a link to that on our website on 3newsnow.com. And with everything happening right now, we want to leave you with something good. In the midst of the pandemic, sea turtles are thriving right now on empty beaches. Cities are seeing more turtle nests than ever before, when typically they have to rope off areas from the public. In Thailand, researchers found 11 nests on one beach. They say that's the most the country has seen in 20 years. It takes about 2 months for, oh, isn't that cute, for a baby sea turtle to hatch. Researchers are hopeful that when the beaches open back up, people will respect the additional nesting. Yeah, it's really amazing to see how wildlife is responding to all of this. You know, I thought I saw maybe some deer running through one city in a different area, and just, you know, what happens when we all kind of hibernate to a certain extent right now.
There's cute little pictures on Facebook of like the animals checking in on the humans. They have like squirrels looking in the windows.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I need to check that out.
I mean, I'm sure it's just fake pictures. Not fake pictures, but, you know, just any animal, but people
Yeah.
are, you know, shaping things up to the way to be a little extra funny this time. Anyway, the weather looking great out there today. At lunchtime, that sunshine quickly getting us close to 60 degrees. Then this afternoon, pushing back into the low 70s, just like we did yesterday. And by 8 o'clock, dipping back down into the 60s, but much lighter wind compared to what we saw out there yesterday. Overnight tonight, though, we do get breezy, but that wind keeps us really mild heading into Wednesday morning. Lows only near 54 to start the day. And tomorrow, that sets us up for another warm afternoon. We're looking at highs near 77. That's going to be for areas along and north of I-80. South of I-80, a few more clouds will be around for you guys, with some of those spotty showers firing off in the early afternoon. But again, even if you're south of I-80, it doesn't guarantee you'll see any rain, but a little better chance to see it down in that direction. Thursday, then, most of the day looking dry as we stay in the mid-70s, but Thursday night, some scattered showers and thunderstorms push in during the overnight hours. And the worst of that ends Friday morning. But I think throughout the day on Friday, there will be just a few hit and miss rain showers, more clouds and some cooler air moving in. That will keep us in the mid-60s. It looks like those mid-60s and really small rain chances will continue over the weekend. Courtney?
Mark, be sure to download the 3 News Now app for up-to-the-minute traffic, weather, and breaking news. Have a great day.